Hello everyone, I will be discussing to you about basic concepts. Okay, according to Isaac Asimov, it is engineering that changes the world. Okay, electric circuit theory and electromagnetic theory are the two fundamental theories upon which all branches of electrical engineering are built. Okay, as you go along with the electrical engineering course, labi na if proceed pa dyan mag-engineering, engineering the 5-year course. So you will encounter subjects that focuses on electric circuit theory, aside from this electrical circuits one, and the electromagnetic theories. The subject ana that will be discussed that will be discussing about magnetics, electromagnetics, and the theories in the electric circuits. And the electric circuits, it is an interconnection of electrical elements. Okay, in figure 1.1, a simple electric circuit. Okay, simple lang siya because na siya battery and na siya suga, lamp. Battery is a source ng power ng suga. Okay, ang battery ang ga-supply dito sa suga. Ang lamp is the load or ga-consume sa power gikan sa battery. Okay, system of units. Okay, this table 1.1 and table 1.2 is very important for you to familiarize because you will encounter these units and prefixes all throughout the engineering course. Labi solve mo mga problems, mga word problems, maka-encounter yun mo ani nga mga units. And for the quantities like length, mass, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, luminous intensity, okay, excuse na to ang kilat. Sorry, kilat. So for the length, there's meter. For the mass, kilogram. Time, second. Electric current, ampere. Thermodynamic temperature, Kelvin. And luminous intensity, candela. And for the prefixes, the usual that you'll encounter. So, kani siya tanan ng prefixes. Importante gini siya ma-familiarize ninyo. But, most of these are very common. Like, tera, that is 10 to the power of 12. Giga, 10 to the power of 9. The mega, kilo, DC, centi, milli, micro, nano, pico. So, katos sila ng mga prefixes are usually used in the word problems in the subject. The electric charge is the most common, the most basic quantity in an electric circuit. So, mga word problem, always yun na naka-include ang what is electric charge, find the electric charge, find the charge. Okay, so pinaka-common or basic quantity. Charge, it is an electrical property of the atomic particles of which matter consists, measured in coulombs. Okay, ang atomic particles, siya electrons. So, ang electrons, there is a corresponding charge. So, every particles na ay charge. So, ang unit ng charge is coulombs. Okay, the following points should be noted about electric charge. So, kaning tulo, importante ni siya nga ma-familiarize ninyo. So, the coulomb is a large unit for charges. In one coulomb of charge, there are 6.24 times 10 to the power of 18 electrons, or 1 over 1.602 times 10 to the power of 19. Okay, so kaning mga numbering power ning negative 19 and kaning 18. So, you may look at it in the PDF file in the site. Download nito ninyo. Tanawan ning value aning one column of charge. Para dili mo ma-confuse kung power ba na siya or number. So, para ma-verify ninyo. Thus, realistic or laboratory values of charges are on the order of picocoulomb, nanocoulomb, or microcoulomb. Number 2, According to experimental observations, the only charges that occur in nature are integral multiples of the electronic charge. Okay, so electronic charge E equal to negative 1.602 times 10 to the power of 19. So power na siya ha, 10 to the power of negative 19. Number 3. The law of conservation of charge states that charge can neither be created nor destroyed, only transferred. So, ang charge, dili nimo na siya mahimo, ma-create. No? Dili po na nimo siya ma-destroy, dili nimo siya guba. Dili nimo siya bungkag, ba? But only transferred. So, transferable siya. Thus, the algebraic sum of the electric charges in a system does not change. Okay, figure 1.3, electric current due to flow of electronic charge in a conductor. Okay, based on this, on the figure, there's the battery and the conductor, and then the electrons. The flow of current is towards the conductor. Okay, so ga-consume ng ga-supply ang battery dito sa conductor mo ang current flow is towards the conductor. Charge and current, electric charge rather. It is the time rate of change of charge measured in amperes. Okay, so electric charge, ang unit niya, amperes or big letter A. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per second. So, ang ampere or ang current, electric charge, so matong ginatawag na current, is just equal to, so ang 1 ampere is just equal to 1 coulomb per second. So, kung pila ka second, kung pila ka coulomb per second. Direct current, DC. It is a current that remains constant with time. So, as we look at figure 1.4, so naay figure A and figure B in figure 1.4, the two common types of current. So, kung i-graph ang current with respect to time, so, maunang sa figure 1.4A. So, kung makita nato sa A, straight line lang ang current or ang graph with respect to time. So, in short, ang current, ang value ng current, while gadagan ang oras, is just constant or the same. While the alternating current or AC is a current that varies sinusoidally with time. So, let's look at figure 1.4b. So, that is the graph for the alternating current. So, naglahi-lahi ang iyahang value as time runs. So, samtang gadagan ng oras, lahi-lahi ang value ng current. And in figure 1.5, so conventional current flow. If ang current is, so pag sa letter A, wala nga tawag ng positive current flow. Pag positive ang iyahang current, that is 5 ampere, so positive current flow. Pag sa letter B, negative current flow, since negative 5 ampere. Okay, sample 1.1. How much charge is represented by 4,600 electrons? Okay, for the example, you may look at the PDF for more details. So, I will not be discussing to you the solution for this example 1.1. How much charge is represented by 4,600 electrons? Okay, let's just discuss it. Solution 1.1. So, gidiscuss mo na ito kaganina, the 3 points, points that should be noted. So, gibutang diri ang charge or electron. Ang charge sa electron is negative 1.602 times 10 to the power of negative 19 coulombs. So, going back to example 1.1, pila daw ang charge represented by 4,600 electrons. Okay, so for the solution, each electron has negative 1.602 times 10 to the power of 19 coulombs. Hence, 4,600 electrons will have, okay, so, ang Negative 1.60 times 10 to the power of 19 coulomb per electron. So, kada electron, mo na siya ang value ng coulomb. I-times na siya into 4,600 electrons since ang question, pila daw ang charge na represent ng 4,000 electrons. So, the answer is negative 7.369 times 10 to the power of negative 16 coulomb. Example 2. The total charge entering a terminal is given by charge equals to 5t sine 4 pi t microcoulomb. Calculate the current at t equal to t or time equal to 0.5 seconds. Okay, so current is equal to derivative of charge with respect to time. So charge is 5t sine 4 pi t. So, butang na to ang value ng Q or charge. So, derivative of 5t sine 4 pi t with respect to time, microcoulomb per second. So, mo na siya ang makuha nga simplified formula for the current is 5 sine 4 pi t plus 20 pi t cosine 4 pi t milliampere. So, milliampere na ang iyahang unit since ang ampere, 1 ampere is just equal to coulomb per second. Okay, coulomb per second. So, charge, ang unit niya is coulomb, time is second. So, since ang given nga Q is ang unit niya is millicoulomb, so ang unit po ng current is milliampere. Okay, so nakuha na ang simplified form or simplified formula ng current. Substitute that t. So, ang given is at time equals to 0.5 second. So, ang t diri sa formula, i-substitute na to, bayluan na to na og 0.5 since mo na ang question. Pila daw ang current at 0.5. So, current is equal to substituting t. So, the answer is 31.42 milliampere. Okay, voltage. To move the electron in a conductor in a particular direction requires some work or energy transfer. This work is performed by an external electromotive force or EMF. So, electromotive force, mo siyang ginatawag na EMF, typically represented by the battery in figure 13. Figure 13 figure 1.3 rather. Figure 1.3. So this EMF is also known as voltage or potential difference. Therefore, ang ginatawag na electromotive force is mao na siya ang voltage or other term is potential difference. Okay. So, mauni siya, ang voltage or potential difference or EMF, ang nag-perform sa work, maong ang kanang electron mulihok. So, na-flow of current. So, ang reason na na-flow of current, once again, is ang voltage. Tungod na sa voltage. Okay, the voltage VAB between 2 points A and B in an electric circuit is the energy or work needed to move a unit charge from A to B. So, in Formula 1.3, voltage from A to B, so ang voltage daw na magpalihok sa electron from point A to point B is just equal to the derivative of energy with respect to charge. So, dW over dQ. So, that is derivative of energy with respect to charge. So, W is energy. Ang unit ng energy is joules. And ang unit ng charge or Q is coulombs. The voltage VAB or simply V or voltage is measured in volts. Okay, ang unit ng voltage, volts or big letter na V. Okay, voltage or potential difference is the energy required to move a unit charge through an element measured in volts. Okay, so figure 1.6, polarity of voltage VAB. So, Polarity ng B is negative, polarity ng A is positive. So, ang voltage niya is VAB, positive. Okay, ang dagan sa current is ang dagan sa charge rather is from negative to positive. So, mana nga ang voltage sa kaning figure 1.6, VAV or positive voltage. In figure 1.7, two equivalent representation of the same voltage VAV. Kung tanaw na to sa figure A, sa figure 1.7A, ang polarity ng B is negative, ang polarity ng A is positive. So, ang voltage in between is 9 volts. That is positive. Sa figure 1.7B, ang polarity ng point B is positive. Ang polarity ng point A is negative. So, therefore, pababa ang current flow. So, negative 9 volts. From point B is negative 9 volts from point A. So, pabali. Power is the time rate of expending or absorbing energy measured in watts. Okay, ang unit ng power, watts. So, familiar naman mo, ana. So, ang formula ng power is just equal to voltage times current. Natin ginatawag nga instantaneous power. So, kana siya is a time-varying quantity. Meaning, every time is lahi ang iyahang power. So, muna siya instantaneous power. When we say, pila ang power after an hour, pilay power niya after isa ka oras. So, muna niya tawag nga instantaneous power. Or pila ang power niya nga nagamit after nilakaw siya o nidagan ang sakyanan 1 kilometer from the starting point. So, that's instantaneous power. Thus, the power absorbed or supplied by an element is the product of voltage across the element and the current through it. So, muna siyang power equals to voltage times current. If the power has a positive sign, power is being delivered to or absorbed by the element. If, on the other hand, the power has negative sign, power is being supplied by the element. So, kung positive, meaning, gina-absorb ng element. For example, itong pinakaulang figure na akong ipakita, itong simple electrical circuit, itong na battery and naisuga. Ang power atong suga is positive since yan gina-absorb ang power delivered by the battery. Ang power atong sa battery is since nag-supply siya it will be having a negative sign since nag-supply siya ng power dito sa suga. Passive sign convention is satisfied when the current enters through the positive terminal of an element and power equals to positive voltage times current or VI. If the current enters through the negative terminal, so kung ang current mosulod sa negative terminal, power will be negative or negative VI. So, it is shown in figure 1.8. In fact, the law of conservation of energy must be obeyed in any electric circuit. For this reason, the algebraic sum of power in a circuit at any instant of time must be zero. Kung nakaisa ka circuit, and then nakaisa ka supplier ng power, ang total absorbed power ng tanan element na naada sa circuit will just be equal to zero. So, manang niya tawag ng law of conservation of energy. Kay, di ba kanina, sa sugod pa lang ako nang giingon, energy or charge, ito balikan ito nga slide. So, sa law of conservation of charge rather, giingon diri that charge can neither be created nor destroyed, only transferred. So, dili siya ma-create, dili po siya ma-destroy, but ma-transfer lang. So, morning in connection po sa law of conservation of energy. Matransfer na po ang energy. Dili siya ma-create, dili po siya ma-destroy. But gikan sa supplier, for example battery, matransfer lang niya yung power dito asa load or ga-consume. So kung pila ang supply nga power, mo to ang total nga power pod nga gina-absorb ng element or ng load rather. So figure 1.9, two cases of an element with an absorbing power of 12 volts. Power equals to 4. Okay. There's a figure A. Voltage is 4 volts and current is 3 ampere. So ang power niya 4 times 3 since power is equal to voltage times current. And then ang sign convention niya, ang current is entering in the positive point. So 4 times 3 equals to 12 watts. So positive ang iyang power. Sa figure B is, ang current niya, pagawas siya towards the negative. So meaning, nagikan siya diri as a positive, ang dagan sa current. So still, ang power niya will be positive 12 watts. In figure 1.10, sa figure 1.10, pagawas sa positive sign, positive point, ang 3 ampere. So in letter A, 4 times negative 3 so equals to 12 volts. Same na po sa figure 1.10b. Ang current is nisulod from the negative sign nga point. So negative nga point. So negative ang iyahang current. So 4 volts times negative 3 ampere. So that is negative 12 watts. Energy is the capacity to do work, measured in joules. Electric power utility companies measured energy in watt-hours. So, kung pila ka wattage sa isa ka oras, mo na siya ang gina-measure ng mga utility companies like Aselco, Aneco, uban pang mga utility companies. Where 1 watt-hour is equal to 3,600 joules. So, ang energy, so ang watt-hour, ang unit ng energy. So, ang 1 unit ng energy or joules. So, ang unit ng energy, pwede joules, pwede po watt-hour. So, ang 1 watt-hour is equal to 3,600 joules. Example 1.4. An energy source forces a constant current of 2 ampere for 10 seconds to flow through a light bulb. So, nagdagan nga 2 ampere for 10 seconds. Padulong sa suga. If 2.3 kilojoule is given off in the form of light and heat energy, calculate the voltage drop across the bulb. Okay, saan man ipag-calculate? Okay, solution. The total charge is, so ang charge, formula of charge is equal to current times time. So, ang given nga current is 2 ampere, ang given nga time is 10 seconds. So, charge is equal to 2 times 10, so that is 20 coulomb. Voltage is just equal also to energy over charge. So, ang given nga energy is 2.3 kilojoules. Ang given nga charge, so calculate ang charge, nakuha nga 20 coulomb. So, voltage is equal to energy divided by charge, so is equal to 2.3 times 10 to the power of 3 ni siya ha. 2.3 times 10 to the power of 3, or that is equal to 2,300 joules. 2,300 joules divided by 20, so the answer will be 115 volts. So, ang answer ay calculate the voltage drop across the bulb. So, ang voltage drop niya is 115 volts. Example 1.6. How much energy does a 100 watts electric bulb consume in 2 hours? Pila daw ka Pila daw ang energy nga na-consume sa suga sa 2 ka oras? So, ang formula kaganina, okay. Energy is equal to power times time. Energy. Power times time. Kaya di ba ang unit ng energy, pwede joules, pwede pod, watt hour. So, ang watt is power, ang hour is time. So, energy is equal to power times time. So, ang given is, ang power, 100 watts, ang time, 2 hours. Okay, 100 watts times 2 hours times 60 minute per hour times 60 seconds per minute. Kaya nga nung i-convert mo na to into seconds. Kay, based sa basic unit nga akong gidiscuss kayo na sa table 1.1, ang time should be in second. So, mana nga, if ang given gani is naka-hour, imo dyan na siyang i-convert into second. So, the answer is 720,000 joules, or that is 720 kilojoules. This is the same as energy is equal to power times time equals to 100 watts times 2 hours. So, that is equal to 200 watt-hour. Wala po din ana. But when we say we calculate or analyze a problem, dapat ang mga units ana naka-basic quantity yun. Naka-basic unit. Like, ang time naka-second, ang power naka-watts, ang kaning so, naka-basic yun siya. But, pwede pa siya himuon og 720 kilojoules. So, pwede ka magamit og prefixes, basta naka-thousand. But, when we say sa oras, dapat naka-seconds. Ang length, so discuss na ko sa table 1.1 ganina, ang length naka-meter, ang mass naka-kilogram, sa pamanto. Ang thermodynamic temperature naka-Kelvin, ang luminous intensity naka-candela. So, inana ang mga basic units. When we say naka-thousand na or mas higher pa nga mga number, pwede na magamit og mga prefixes along with the basic units. An element is the basic building block of a circuit. An electric circuit is simply an interconnection of the elements. So kung wala interconnection of elements, di na siya matawag og electric circuit. So kung naalang kay capacitor, na kay resistor, na kay battery, nga wala naka-connect, dili na siya matawag og circuit. Pero pag imo na siyang i-connect, himuonin mo siya into a circuit, so matawag na siya electric circuit. Pag na-connection. Circuit analysis is the process of determining voltages across or the currents through the elements of the circuit. So when we say i-analyze nimo ni nga circuit, when we say ipa-analyze mo, pasabot ana, pangitaon ninyo ang voltage sa kada element o pangitaon ninyo ang current sa kada element. Muna siya ang ginatawag nga circuit analysis. There are two types of elements found in electric circuits. So, na two types, passive elements and active elements. An active element is capable of generating energy, while a passive element is not. So, when we say active element, so, capable man siya of generating energy, so siya ang ga-supply. So, example, ani battery. Ang passive element, dili daw siya maka-generate og energy niya. So, siya ang load or ang ga-consume sa power. So, example of passive elements are resistors, capacitors, inductors, o uban pa ng mga load nga mo-consume og energy. Typical active elements include generators, batteries, and operational amplifiers. of amps. Okay, the most important active elements, o pinaka-importante nga active elements are voltage or current sources. So, muna siya ang pinaka-common nga ma-encounter ninyo along the while you go on with the subject, so mga voltage and current sources that generally deliver power to the circuit connected to them. There are two kinds of sources, independent sources and dependent sources. An ideal independent source is an active element that provides a specified voltage or current that is completely independent of other circuit variables. So, in figure 1.11, tanaw na to ang figure 1.11, symbols for independent voltage sources. Ang sa letter A, sa figure 1.11a, makita na to nga na ay voltage source. So, naka-circle nga na positive negative. Used for constant or time varying voltage. So, naa siya value. Ang pagkani nga symbol sa letter A ang gamiton, pasabot ana naka-AC. AC voltage. Sa letter B, used for constant voltage. So, kung makita na to, similar siya sa symbol sa battery since DC man siya. And batteries are a DC supply ng voltage. Figure 1.12, symbol for independent current source. So, yung say independent current source, so naka-circle yapon siya, but naka-arrow. Pasabot anang arrow, kung asa naka-point ang arrow, dito paingon ang current. Dito naga-flow ang current. Same na po diri as sa figure 1.11a, na ay sign convention niya, negative positive. So, ang current niya, since ang charge is from low potential to high potential, so negative to positive. So, ang current flow niya, diri is pataas. Same na po sa letter B. An ideal dependent or controlled source is an active element in which the source quantity is controlled by another voltage or current. So, in figure 1.13, symbols for, so mo ni siya ang symbol, sa letter A, symbol ng dependent voltage source. Pasabot ana, wala siya exact nga voltage, kaya naa siya, nagadepend siya to a certain element. So, wala nakabutang diri ang sa nga element ang iyahang gidepindahan. But, pasabot anin, basta naka-triangle, naka-diamond ang iyang forma, and then naka-V with the kaning sign convention negative and positive. So, pasabot anin, dependent na siya. Same with the current. Pag naka-diamond ang iyahang form with the arrow, so ang arrow, same ra gihapon kung asa naka-point ang arrow, dito naga-flow ang current. But since ang iyahang nag-box siya is a form into a diamond, so dependent current source siya, meaning ga-depend gihapon siya to a certain element. Kung pila to nga element, mao pud na ang iyahang dito po nag-base ang value sa current or sa voltage. So you will be encountering this problem. You'll be encountering these symbols with the word problems along the way. Circuit elements. Dependent sources are usually designated by diamond-shaped symbols since the control of the dependent source is achieved by a voltage or current of some other element in the circuit, and the source can be voltage or current. It follows that there are four possible types of dependent sources, namely, okay, so mani ang upat ka types ng dependent sources. A voltage-controlled voltage source. So, ang dependent voltage source nagdepende gihapon sa isa ka voltage-controlled nga element. So, that is number 1. Number 2, a current-controlled voltage source. Number 3, a voltage-controlled current source. Number 4, a current-controlled current source. Okay. Dependent sources are useful in modeling elements such as transistor, operational amplifiers, and integrated circuits. So in figure 1.14, the source on the right hand, so that is 10I. The source on the right hand side is a current controlled voltage source. So voltage source siya since ang sunod sa diamond shape is negative and positive. So ang tawag ani current controlled voltage source. So kung pilang value sa I, i-times ni mo na siya og 10. Mo na siya ang value ani nga voltage source. So ang kani nga I mo ning makita diri sa tunga ni current entering the element C. So kung pilang value aning element C, kung pilang value aning I or current entering the element C, i-times ni mo na siya og 10, mao na siyang value sa current controlled voltage source nga naka-diamond. So mao na siya ang dependent sources. Okay, sample 1.7. Calculate the power supplied or absorbed by each element. Calculate daw ang power supplied in each element. So na ay power 1 or P1, power 2, P2, P3 or power 3, power 4, P4. Okay, pila daw ang power sa number 1, P1, pila daw ang power aning 20 volt na source. Sa ikaduha, pila daw ang power aning kaning nga element. So naka rectangle man siya, wala siya giingon nga supply ba na siya, load ba na siya. Basta kay na siya 12 volt and then naay gasulod nga 5 ampere. Diri sa third element which is the P3 na siya 8 volts and then naay gasulod nga 6 ampere. Diri sa fourth nga element which is pangitaon ang P4 or power 4. So this is a current controlled current source. So kung pila ning I, big letter I, i-times na siya og 0.2, mo na siya ang value ani nga current source. Okay, kung makita nato ang big letter I, ang value niya, makita nato diri sa second element, ang big letter I or ang current I is equal to 5 ampere. Ang kaning 5 ampere, so ang arrow niya pasulod dito sa second element. So positive. Since pasulod siya dito sa positive convention. Tanaw na to diri sa 12 volts, positive, negative. So ang current nakasulod sa positive, so ang current niya positive. Positive 5 times 0.2, so that is 2.5. Meaning, ang current source diri sa fourth element, ang current value niya is 0.2 times 5. Pila man na 0.2 times 5. So that is 1 ampere. So ang value ani nga current source is 1 ampere. So nakita na ang value ani. So let's go to the solution. We apply the sign convention for power shown in figures 1.8 and 1.9. For P1, the 5 ampere current is out or the positive terminal or into the negative terminal, hence. Okay. Mag-start ta sa P1. Balik ta diri sa figure. Ang 5 ampere nga current, tanaw na to ning voltage supply. Kaning 20 volts. Kung tanaw na to ang arrow aning big letter I or kaning 5 ampere, ligawas siya diri sa positive. Meaning, kung nigawa siya sa positive, nisulod siya sa negative. Meaning, to calculate the power or P1, so gamitin na to ang kung asam siya nisulod sa negative. So, dahil sa solution, 20 volts, so 20, muna siyang voltage ng source, voltage times negative 5, so equal to negative 100 watts supplied power. So, discuss na ko kanina. Pag negative ang power, meaning ga-supply siya ng power. Pag positive ang power, meaning naga-absorb og power. Okay, so understandable na since But since voltage source to siya, negative jud ang iyahang power. Sa ikaduha, 2 volts, ay, baliktad. 12 volts times 5 ampere. So, ang 5 ampere nisulod sa positive nga sign diri as a second element. So, 12 volts times 5 is equal to 60 watts, which is absorbed power. So, same ra pod sa P3 and P4. So, masolve naman na siya. Okay, assignment. The second application deals with how one electric utility company charges their customers. The cost of electricity depends upon the amount of energy consumed in kilowatt hours. So K, megawatt W, and H. Other factors that affect the cost include demand and power factors. We'll ignore this for now. Kaya kaning mga demand and power factors, dili sa nato na siya include sa mga solution since basic pa man, basic concepts pa man atong gidiskussan. But later on, we will integrate power factors and demand sa mga word problems, sa mga next na mga chapter. However, even if a consumer uses no energy at all, there is a minimum service charge the customer must pay because it costs money to stay connected to the power line. As energy consumption increase, the cost per kilowatt hour drops. It is interesting to note the average monthly consumption of household appliances for a family of 5. Okay, shown in table 1.3. Okay, mao ni siya ang typical average monthly consumption of household appliances. Okay, water heater, freezer, lighting sa mga suga, dishwasher. So kung sato alang ni na mga balay diri sa Agusan, murag wala gyud tay dishwasher. But for example naman po ni electric iron, plancha, TV, toaster, washing machine, stove, dryer, microwave oven, personal computer, radio, and clock. Okay, so muna siya ang mga consumption. Okay, example 1.9. A homeowner consumes 3,300 kilowatt-hour in January. Determine the electricity bill for the month using the following residential rate schedule. Okay, sa base monthly charge of $12. Okay, base. Muna siya ang giingon dili sa i-discuss na ko nga even if a consumer uses no energy at all, there is a minimum service charge the customer must pay because it costs money to stay connected to the power line. So, mao na siya ang niyatawag nga base monthly charge. So, na base monthly charge of $12. And then, for the first 100 kilowatt hour per month, at 16 cents per kilowatt hour. So, ang unang 100 kilowatt nga magamit, tag 16 per month 16 cents per kilowatt hour. The next 200 kilowatt hour per month at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Over 200 kilowatt hour per month at 6 cents per hour. Meaning, kung ang monthly lang nimo ang consumption is 100 kilowatt hour per month, 16 cents ang price kada kilowatt hour. So, kung i-times nimo na 100 kilowatt hour times 16 cents, paano siya? 1,600 cents or $1.6. So, muna siya ang price. Sa next 200 kilowatt hour per month, so mogamay ang price. So, nagkadako ang imong consumption, nagkagamay ang iyang price. Calculate. So the question ato, determine the electricity bill for the month using the following residential rate schedule. We calculate the electricity bill as follows. So, ang base monthly charge, $12. So, bayaran nyo na siya. First, 100 kilowatt hour at 0.6 $16 or that is 16 cents per kilowatt hour. Ay, mali di akong calculate ganina. So, 100 times 16 cents, that is $16. $16 na ito. Next, 200 kilowatt hour times 10 cents or that is $0.10 is equal to $20. Remaining 100 kilowatt hour at 0.06 kilowatt hour is equal to $6. Total charge $54. Average cost is equal to $54 divided by 100 plus 200 plus 100. So, ang price or average cost nimo is 13.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So, mana siya ang answer sa electricity bill. Okay, for assignment. Okay, for the assignments that is posted in the LMS. So, just look at it in the practice problems. Nakapost na dito. Just answer it. Solve it in a paper, clean sheet of paper. And then take a picture and then i-upload ninyo dito sa site, dito sa submission bin. Click lang ang add submission para maka-upload mo sa file. Problem solving. Okay. We will list the steps simply and then elaborate on them. Okay, so number 1, so mali siyang steps. Carefully define the problem. So, sabton ninyo ang problem. No, naka-English man ang problem. So, inyo yun ang sabton. Practice yun ng English. Number 2, present everything you know about the problem. So, ihatag ang given, unsa may mga given, unsa ang gipangita, and then unsa ang mga solution or unsa ang mga formulas na gamiton. Number 3, establish a set of alternative solutions and determine the one that promises the greatest likelihood of success. Number 4, attempt a problem solution. Number 5, evaluate the solution and check for accuracy. Number 6, has the problem been solved satisfactorily? If so, present the solution. If not, then return to step 3 and continue through the process again. So, muna siya ang way to solve the word problems. End. So, that ends the discussion on this chapter. Any question? Okay, if you have a question, you may chat on the group chat. Sa group chat, mag-send og message para makabasa ang uban. That's all for this chapter.